Ladies and gentlemen, today I am giving you my no-nonsense ranking of the first 5 episodes of Season 4 of From, as well as giving you a little bit of some of my thoughts of episodes 6 through 9 of the show. That's what I've seen up to at this point, and if you're wondering why I am filming in a car, I am too. I'm pissed about it. To be completely honest with you, I had already recorded this video, I got deep into editing it, and realized the whole back half of the audio was messed up because I wore this mic backwards and it kept flipping up in my shirt, making me sound like this, and it was a nightmare. I literally got like hours into editing this thing and it happened. So we're going to get a little bit more off the cuff with this one. This is just going to be no frills, no nothing. And honestly, guys, this is the first video since I started covering From Season 4 where I get to sit back and relax with you guys in the current tense, like right now. All of my content that you'd seen up to this point was batch recorded for the show. So when I got the screeners, when I saw them, I went like I'd watch an episode and then I'd make the content for it and then I'd move on to the next episode. There was a couple examples in there, and you may have seen with like my haircut differences and stuff like that. There was a couple examples in there where I had to unfortunately go back and re-record, and those re-recordings did happen after I saw everything, but I was reading off of a script that I made from when I had only seen up to that point, so everything was like ironclad. I wasn't like going off of advanced knowledge, but I did have to re-record. So just so you get a sense of how that worked and all of that, and that's the case all the way up through episode 9. I did it that way. So now that we get to talk about it, now that we're in this hiatus right now where it's Memorial Day weekend, and we have time to sit back, relax, I want to let you know how I really feel about what we've seen so far and how I really feel about the next half, because guys, the next, like if you thought episode 5 was good, you guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for a real treat. We're going to get to it towards the end of this video, and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out a ton, and we've been growing so much. We'll talk about that sort of stuff later, but thank you for that. But anyway, so going off of what we have, one of the biggest takeaways to me is, because I've had a lot of time to like sit with this and like witness stuff in the community and read stuff and blah, 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 I've been seeing a lot of people saying that the show is still not giving answers. And I mean this in the most respectful way, but I like firmly disagree with you. I think this season is like the answers season. And right now I'm just talking about 1 through 5 when I say this. We've gotten so many answers at this point. We know the man in yellow shapeshifts. We know the man in yellow is Sophia. We know that Jade was actually all of those versions of himself. There were so many other reveals in there. Fatima, for example, explaining in great detail that about the bargain is another example of that. Things with Tabitha, Julie's story walking. There is so many reveals going on right now. I just don't understand this sentiment that people are saying that it's still not answering questions. If you're really feeling that way, I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied with the show because, 1, we're still not in the final season. 2, the show is not going to spell every single thing out to you. And that's one of the things I actually love the most about From. From doesn't spoon feed everything to you. From leaves enough out there on the table for us to have fun and speculate. And I actually think that is like the best thing that this show could possibly do. I would actually be annoyed and kind of frustrated if this show gave us an answer to everything, because that kind of almost like insults our intelligence. So I don't understand the concept of people saying the show isn't giving us answers. It clearly is. This season is built off of finding and getting answers to things. That's the whole point of this season. And again, yes, I'm talking about 1 through 5, but also because I have seen at this point up to 9, I am in the back of my head, I have that bias of saying, you're gonna get answers are coming. Just like they're still, answers are a thing this season. Not coming, whatever. What the whole point I'm making is this season is geared around getting things in motion to get like some of those big core foundational things answered. Yes, episode 5 had that big thing that asked more questions and all of that stuff. But also you got to remember what that does for Tabitha's story, right? Yes, we do have more questions now because how the hell do those things come alive? All of that stuff. But you also got to know that we came out of this episode knowing that Tabitha can use those totems to hurt these things. That's a big thing for Tabitha. That's just as much a big thing for Tabitha as was Jade in this episode discovering that Christopher, we knew Christopher, but that the Civil War soldier, the Ankui skull guy, and the boulder guy were all him. Like, I'd say Tabitha discovering that she could use the totems against the things in the forest is just as big of a reveal as that was for Jade. So anyway, I know this is a long-winded way of me saying we're going to get into the rankings, but I just had to preface all of this because this is like our moment to debrief a little bit. I haven't had the ability to do that with you guys. It's been all content that I've had pre-recorded and all of that stuff. So, now to the rankings of the episodes. And I want to preface with this. I don't think there is one bad episode of season 4 at all. So if I have stuff lower on my list, that doesn't mean they're inherently bad. It's just I prefer the other ones more. And I think there was a lot more in them. I don't think From has ever had a bad episode. And I'm just being honest about this. You guys got to know, I'm not paid by MGM Plus or anything like that. I'm blessed they sent me content early. And obviously, like, you know, like I want that to continue and all of that stuff, sure. But I'm not just saying this just to like praise the show or praise John Griffin or MGM Plus or anything like that. I'm really genuinely not doing that. I don't think this show's really had a bad episode yet. It's had weak episodes. But I even think those weak episodes are very foundational to the story, so it's hard for me to call even the weakest bad. I just genuinely don't think they are. 3 and 4 felt that way to me personally. So, with that in mind, no, I don't think the worst of these episodes were bad episodes, but I definitely think the other ones are better than them. You know what I mean? So here we go. In order, we have 5 episodes, so I'm just going to rank 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. So, in 5th place, the best episode for me up to this point is 5. That is definitely the best episode. After that, it's 2. It's not 2. After that, number 2 is number 1. So, it's 5, 1, then I'm going to go 2, episode 2. Then I'm going to go episode 4, then I'm going to go episode 3. So my favorite is 5, my least favorite is episode 3, if that makes any sense. And again, it's not that my least favorite is my least favorite. Like, I didn't dislike the episode, but I thought that episode was that sort of episode where we're finally sitting down in the story. Let me just run through in order. 5 is my favorite, I think, because of the momentum, because of the big reveals, because it now feels like we are sitting in a place where our characters are going somewhere with this story, like 1,000,000%. They're like moving. The story is in motion. Even if that episode was just 2 almost like, not bottled, but bottled stories with our 2 people. But they were big bottle moments for Jade, and they were big bottle moments for Tabitha. Jade discovers more. He discovers the minnows in a shark's net thing. He discovers that the town kills them. All of that stuff. It's all very important. And Tabitha discovers that she found these totems out there that could kill stuff that this town fabricated. Those are big foundational items. So that's why I think 5 is my favorite of these 5. Then episode 1, because I think episode 1 just had that dynamite momentum where it was boom, 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 everything. Episode 2 is right below that, and I'd say episode 1 and 2 are on a pretty similar playing field, because episode 1 was all about that reveal with Jim, and that was a big thing, and knowledge coming out of Acosta, knee slapper, stupid, I'm gonna quit now, whatever. Anyway, the point I'm making is that's why 2 was really good. And then 4, the thing that stood out to me was Julie's story walking, and her talking about the Grand Gulagog and the Lake of Tears. That's a big thing. And then 3 was, again, not a bad episode, but I think the least interest for me compared to the rest. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it would be the lowest on my list because I have to rank one. In this video, I'm ranking, so you know what I mean. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on the rankings of the episodes. But now the fun part and the hardest part for me. So now that we're in present tense, And I could talk about things. I've been reading a lot of your comments, and I saw a lot of the comments people had on my video where I reviewed episodes 1 through 6 early. And a lot of people criticized the fact that I didn't say anything. And people were saying, like, this was a waste of time. He just said nothing for 6 minutes or however long the video was. And I understand that, but you also have to understand, I cannot tell you things. I'm not allowed to tell you things. So when I give these, I'm just giving you my opinions on how I felt when I watched those. I can't tell you spoilers, obviously. I can't do that. And I can't even hint around where those things are going to go. It's actually hard for me because I really want to, because there are some huge things that happen in these episodes, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I saved all my yapping for those 45 to 50-minute breakdowns that I've done all the way up to episode 9 at this point, and I can't wait for you to see them. But look, again, unfortunately, if you're expecting me to give you spoilers, that will never happen. I would never do that. Ever. One, because I'm not allowed, and two, because I do not want you to be spoiled. These are big moments that when I watched them, I screamed at the fucking top of my lungs, and I would never want to take that away from you. Also, I would get in trouble. So there's all those reasons. But, so yes, this is going to be vague. This is going to be pretty generic out there. So yes, I have to do it that way. But what I can say is episodes 6 through 9, like if you liked 5, at the time when I watched 5, I thought that was the best episode, and it was as the rankings I gave you. But at the time, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Then 6 was even better. Then 7 was unbelievable. Then 8 was even better. Then 9 was also, I think 9 is the best episode of the show. So you're in for a fucking treat, because 6 is crazy, 7 is even more, way more crazy, 8 is crazy, and 9 is bombastic. You know what I mean? So look, you guys, it's like literally a straight shot up from here on out. And I guess I can do this because I'm not giving anything away, but I will include these episodes in a ranking now. Now that you've seen 1 through 5, I'll actually give you my rankings with the episodes that I've seen so far. And it's pretty crazy because it's going to look pretty wild. My number 1 favorite episode by far is episode 9. Fan-fucking-tastic episode. And then my second favorite is episode 7, almost just as good. Incredible episode. Then it would be episode 8. Then it would be episode 6. Then it would be episode 5, and then the list goes on. So it would be that order. You know what I mean? 9 being my favorite, then 7, then 8, then 6, then 5, then 1, then 2, then 4, then 3. That's my list of the rankings of the episodes. And again, I can't say anything at all. I can't really get into much. What I can say is, now that you know where the story is, like now that you know where we are at with the story and how things have been set in motion, we have a very solid foundation on all fronts. Things like Sophia, Jade, and Tabitha, all the big plot points that have already been touched upon. You're gonna see the continuations of those, but in ways I doubt you expect. So that's the only thing that I can say. I guess I have to be so careful, but the biggest takeaway that I want you guys to know is the show is in a place right now where we are going to be on a generational run of episodes. 5 through 9 are fucking incredible episodes of TV. Genuinely all awesome. And I really don't think there is any bad, I haven't seen 10 yet, but I don't think there's any bad episodes to this season. Again, yeah, the weakest is 3 and 4, but there's always a weakest. And again, if I were to rank them out of the season, these would still be like 7 or 8 out of 10 on the scale of like from spectrum of episodes. So these are not bad episodes. And I don't think there's anything even close to that in this season. So you guys are in for a treat. I can't wait to be going back on the creator roundtables that we do on Scarlet Fever's channel. I can't wait to go back on there and be able to actually like yap about these episodes in depth. But you guys are just in for a treat. You really are. And I can't wait to join you guys on those episodes, and we can have fun discussions, because Not only am I going to be doing the breakdowns for them like I've been doing, but I have some really fun deep dives for some big moments that happen that they'll be really fun for you guys to check out, and I can't wait for it. So at the end of this, just want to give you the cliff notes, the highlights. This back half is even better than the first half. You guys are in for a real treat with it, but this season has been generational to me. This is my favorite season of the show, hands down, and the back half certainly confirms that. But that's like my cliff notes. That's where I am with the rankings. But now at the end of this, just want to give some like just additional items, just closing up shop, some other stuff. This run of From Season 4 so far has been the most successful my channel has ever had of a run, ever. Hands down, point blank period, and I can get really fucking emotional making this video. I'm gonna try to avoid it, but this has been such a blessing to me, because when I went in and started batch recording content for this season, I took a risk, blatantly. I took a risk by not knowing how those 40+ minute long reviews would do and all of that stuff. I took a risk, and that risk paid off immensely. And I can't believe where we are at the time of recording this. I'm just under 23,000 subscribers. Before the season started, I was at like 18. So this is crazy. I've never had a run of this much momentum. My videos are doing so well, and it means so much to me. So thank you so much for that, because I've been putting in a lot of work, more work than I can physically fathom, because I'm going to Italy in a couple weeks when, I forget which episodes air. I think it's 8 and 9. I will be away in Italy. So I had to really get ahead of recording and filming, and it was a lot of work, but this is the shit I want to be doing. And the fact that it's paying off is like so awesome. It's genuinely so awesome. So I can't thank you guys enough. I genuinely can't. And I look forward to you guys seeing what's coming up in the show, and I look forward to being there and hanging out with you guys. I definitely want to know your rankings down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video. And until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.